And welcome to the fabulous Forum in Englewood, California. I'm Eddie Doucette, with me Steve Jones. We've got NBA playoff action between the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. You see Magic Johnson right there. Magic will go to the line when we resume. The Lakers leading at 9-1. They did it in a hurry. They got out to a 4-0 lead on baskets by Norm Nixon and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Stan Albeck, the coach of the Spurs, then was hit with a technical foul. Nixon hit the technical to make it 5-0. And in that spell, Kurt Rambis, the power forward, who's probably the man they say, Kurt who, had 4 rebounds. Jamal Wilkes then added another basket to make it 7-0. Johnny Moore of the Spurs missed 1 of 2 free throws to make it 7-1. And then Magic Johnson came down, hit a driving layup and the free throw, and that is where we are, 10-1. With me, as I mentioned, Steve Jones. Steve, we join in progress. And for those fans that are viewing us, the Lakers lead this best-of-7 series 1-0.
Well, the key to this game is tempo. The problem for San Antonio here early in the ball game, they have not gotten a field goal down. They've had some good opportunities from Mitchell, Gervin, Johnny Moore on driving opportunities. They haven't gotten them down. Once they get a field goal and begin to get themselves set, I think we'll see a change in the ball game. Gervin missing from the outside.
And the Spurs now 0 for 6 from the floor. They are frigid, unlike the weather here in Southern California. There's the Iceman, #1 scorer in the NBA 3 times. 3 of the last 4, 4 of the last 5. He is something else as they finally come up with a field goal, and now it is 10-3. Abdul-Jabbar in the middle, of course. Magic Johnson and Nixon the guards for the Lakers, with Jamal Wilkes and Kurt Rambis in the front line. That is Silk Wilkes. We like to call him the silent assassin. He just goes about his work and just kills you all night long.
Well, you're sharp tonight, and the Lakers right now are certainly on top of their ball game, but that's the kind of game you want to get them in. A half-court basketball game, force them to execute and pop that ball from the outside.
Mike Mitchell, George Johnson up front. There's Gervin, or make that Mitchell on the drive. And Mitchell now comes up with a pair, and it's 12-5. Stan Albeck wants to steal at least one of these games, go back home to the friendly confines of San Antonio to try and get up on top of the series. On the ball, banged out of bounds. They'll bring it back in with 17 seconds on the shot clock. So far, Lakers out-rebounding the #1 rebounding team in the NBA, 8-4. Lakers, incidentally, were the second-best rebounding team this past season. So you've got 2 of the tops. You've got a lot of statistical leaders as well. Wilkes on the reverse, Kareem on the tap. The offensive rebounding by LA has been awesome so far. And it's 14-5, Lakers early, 7:48 in the first period.
Well, you know, we've seen San Antonio get off to slow starts before and begin to find their way in the basketball game. Same thing happened in the Seattle series. It's happening right now. But San Antonio is a gritty type of team, and they're going to keep coming at you. The Lakers on the fly.
Nixon. And the assassin once again. 16-5. 6 points for Jamal Wilkes. Watch how the Lakers defense on Mike Mitchell as they front him, and they'll run 3 people at him at different times. And on the block shot, LA with that switch-up defense that has been so effective in the playoffs, they are going for their 6th consecutive playoff win. 7 is the NBA playoff consecutive game win record. Well, Kurt Rambis, that's his 6th rebound, Steve.
The thing that San Antonio does not want to have happen is Stan Albeck takes another timeout, is to lose contact here early in the ball game. You're down by 13. Albeck wants to have a chat with his boys.
All right, we have a timeout. The Lakers on fast break basket opportunities on Sunday, outscoring the Spurs 33-19. Can't do it tonight. The Lakers 18, the Spurs 5. We'll be back in just a moment with more exciting NBA playoff action on the USA Cable Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more. By Toyota, who invites you to test drive the 82 front-wheel drive Corolla Torcel at your local Toyota dealer. The car for all seasons. And by Levi's Blue Jeans. When it comes to comfort, value, and fit, it's hard to top the original Levi's Blue Jeans. Lakers 18, Spurs 5. That's the biggest lead either team had in Game 1. That is the biggest lead of the series.
13-point lead, and right now what San Antonio wants to do is find a hot hand, get someone to help them maintain contact in this basketball game. They don't have any control in it. They want to stay close until things begin to fall together for them.
Olberding trying to get to Bratz, who's in off the bench. It'll turn around off the glass, and that's George Johnson. Or make that Mike Mitchell. George Johnson, who plays the middle for the Spurs, has been known as the Secretary of SWAT. He has won the block shot title 3 times in his career, 2 years in a row. He led the league with a little over 3.1 per game this year. He is defending on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who flashes left-right and fouls Jabbar. George Johnson, the man we talked about, and Stan Albeck, the coach of the Spurs, who's done a marvelous job with a better than 60% winning percentage.
Well, the Secretary of SWAT, as you so aptly put it, has had problems with Kareem, and one of his problems is getting in foul trouble early so they don't have his defensive prowess inside. But Corzine has been able to come off the bench and give them a strong lift. So possibly, if Johnson gets in foul trouble, we'll see Corzine very early.
Both these teams scored a lot of points during the regular season. Both gave up a lot by NBA standards. Kareem, he put it in. The big man, the king, he is the hook and ladder. 20-7, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the highest NBA playoff scoring average in the history of the game. He, with McAdoo, tied for that honor coming into the series. He will no doubtedly surge ahead. On the foul that time, it'll be Kurt Rambis that committed the foul. He's got 1. Lakers with 3. LA 12-4. Big rebound advantage so far early here in the game. The Iceman. He's got every shot in the book, folks. Everything imaginable, and then some that aren't even imaginable.
Well, you know, Gervin is impossible to stop. You know, we talk about it many, many times, but he had 34 points and did not score for 20 minutes, a field goal from the field. So that shows you how difficult it is to contain his offensive game. And he has not had a good start in any of the playoff series so far.
Here's Pat Riley, young coach, took over early in the year when Paul Westhead was relieved of his duties, and Riley's came on and done a nice job with a 50-21 record here with the Lakers, and a foul as Gervin tries to isolate on the baseline, and now the Lakers have 14 fouls. 4, count them. The Lakers, incidentally, as a team this year, averaged just a little under 115 a game. The Spurs a hair over 113. That's Mitchell. Tough shot. Boy, that's a tough shot. And you're not going to deny Mitchell his points like you're not going to deny Gervin his. They had 59 combined on Sunday.
Well, those are the primary scores, and what they want to do is have those players keep them close and get Blatz, Corzine, Johnson, the rest of the crew involved in the basketball game.
Try and take away the passes that set up the scorers. There's Mike Bratz, one of the top 3-point shooters in the league, and Rambis again. Unofficially, I think that's 7 rebounds for Kurt Rambis. Look at the Laker break. The Lakers have the best break right now outside of the Celtics in the NBA, and they are something to watch.
Not outside of anybody. They have the best running attack in basketball. Every team in the league is fearful of running with the Lakers.
Offensive foul, Los Angeles. Offensive fouls don't count to the team total, so they don't go to the line on this one. Lakers still holding at 14 fouls. And that foul goes on Jamal Wilkes, his second. So he picks up consecutive personal fouls. And the Lakers at 4 and the Spurs at 3. It's 20-11 with 5 to play in the first period from the Fabulous Forum. And the Iceman tries to ring and does it. 8 rebounds for Kurt Rambis. What a story. Cut by the Knicks, played in Greece last year. Free agent walk-on this year, made the team. And when Kupchak went down, he got his start. And he has started every game since then. 42 during the regular season. Nixon.
Again, we've talked about it so many times. Now, San Antonio only down by 9 points, and they're on the run themselves. They have the Lakers playing the style of ball which will help them be successful at half-court overding from the outside.
And he can shoot it from out there. Big, strong kid, 6'9", 235 pounds. Left college at the University of Minnesota after his sophomore year to step into the pro ranks. Been in the ABA and the NBA, and he's still a young man, and he does a great job. Nixon off the high back screen by Kareem. Tries to use it again over Bratz. In and out, Hoop didn't want it. And on the rebound that time, George Johnson, they get it up the far side in a hurry. That's Mitchell.
Again, they want to stay close. Mitchell's the guy with the hot hand right now. And we saw it before. It was 20-7. Now it's 20-15. Spurs right back in it.
When they try and get Mitchell the ball on the open floor, because the Lakers, when you set up, will send 2-3 men at Mitchell and always try and front him to deny him the ball. When he gets it inside low where he likes to post up, he is devastating. We have a timeout. 3:56 to play in the period. It's the Lakers 20 and the Spurs 15. We will return right after we take a break for these words. Now they're telling us we're going to keep it right here, so we will. Eddie Doucette and Steve Jones on the USA Cable Network.
Well, Eddie, it's important that we emphasize that in this ball game, tempo is very, very important. For the Lakers, who got the lead early and had control of the ball game early, they wanted to run. And they did it by running. They had San Antonio missing some good opportunities. They were able to get the ball. You've talked about Kurt Rambis many times already and his rebounding. They were able to get out, get on the break, and get it up and down. San Antonio with Mike Mitchell and George Gervin have been able to slowly but surely get back into the ball game.
Steve, for a moment, while we have this opportunity, let's talk a little bit about the San Antonio bench. When you get to this time of year, you don't really go beyond 8 men. And the Spurs come off the bench with Corzine, who usually plays a half game. You'll see him for sure second and fourth period, maybe sooner replacing George Johnson as you look at Pat Riley. And you also talk about Mike Bratz and Gene Banks. Pretty good bench, and so far Bratz here tonight, 4 assists in 3 minutes of play.
Well, I think the key player in that group that you talk about would be Corzine and Bratz. Now, Bratz is playing a lot of time here early in the basketball game. Johnny Moore struggling apparently early, and so they do not have him as we take a look at Mike Mitchell going to work.
Mitchell has really been something. Came to this club with a reputation of being a bad guy. Cleveland Cavaliers said they had problems with him, but Stan Albeck had him the year he was in Cleveland and said, hey, give me an opportunity to get that man on my team, and I'll show you something. And he has been a sterling citizen here, 1, and 2 has been an outstanding performer. He and Gervin together really give San Antonio something they have not had since the very best years of Keenan and Gervin. And they've got it back now, and then some, because this fella plays both ends of the floor.
Well, I think the key to the reputations of many players in the NBA is winning in losing situations. Mike Mitchell was in a losing situation in Cleveland. It's tough to survive in Cleveland when you're losing all the time. It's tough to be a model citizen. As you talk about, he has been with the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have had a winning tradition ever since they went to San Antonio.
All right, now you have McAdoo in the game. You go Nixon to Kareem, trying to get it down. There's Bratz again. See if he comes up with yet another assist. He has 4 in a very short amount of time. He can move the ball around, or he'll drop outside if you sag off him and hit that 3-point bomb. Inside, they try and get the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell can't find it. You see them fronting him with Mike Cooper in the game, and they force a turnover. Now, that in itself is strange, because San Antonio, in addition to being the #1 rebounding team, also commits fewer turnovers than any team in the NBA. So you see one of their rare turnovers here tonight.
Well, that was a bad decision that time by Mike Bratz. He had several opportunities to give the ball up to either Mitchell or Gervin, was trying to find Oberding and didn't do it. McAdoo down the lane, and they're going to get a charge. Then they get a travel. Jake O'Donnell comes through.
And there's Bob McAdoo. Incredible survival as this guy has come off the bench. And Steve, you had the best line of all. Who did he meet somewhere along the line?
Oral Roberts. Oral healed him, and if he keeps going in there like that, he may have to have those special hands again.
And we're coming back live now with Bratz going to Oberding. Oberding trying to get a one-on-one action against McAdoo. That's 6'9" against 6'9.5. On the turnaround, there's Mitchell. That time they didn't front him. Magic tried to come up from behind and bump him once they got the ball to Mitchell. Magic Johnson, a guard, 6'9.5", 16 rebounds, game 1. Not bad. McAdoo on the miss. 3-time NBA scoring champion here on this club as an extra. We talked about the Spurs bench. How about the Lakers with McAdoo and Cooper? Not a bad start. Then they'll come in with a Landsberger and a Brewer and some more of those people. My goodness gracious, you've got some pretty good bench material on both sides when you stop and think about it. 2015 LA.
Well, the thing that's key for the Lakers when you talk about benches, and we see them come from the outside against the 24-second clock, is the fact that those guys are runners. They all like to run, and they play well in the open court, so that complements what the Lakers like to do.
2015, the score, Stan Albeck, who is on the sidelines, and we've talked about him. He has done a tremendous job. His contract is up for renewal this year. I'm sure that they will, because he's been great. Cleaned and pressed. That's the Iceman. Look out. He is something else. And on the follow that time, Mike Mitchell. So now you have 6 turnovers for LA so far, and Mitchell with 10 points. They've not been able to throw the collar around him. And suddenly, it's a 2017 ball game.
Well, the Lakers have gone cold here. The King brings them back with a nice little left-hand move inside. So the Lakers went about 3 or 4 minutes without scoring.
And 10 points. A 10 straight run by the Spurs to get them back to within 3, and now it's down to 5. 22-17. Our USA cameras will be in San Antonio for Game 4 on Saturday night. Let you know about that. Turn around on the toaster. Won't fall. Bang loose. Who's got it? Cooper. They say the best 6 man on the NBA team. They're calling McAdoo the best 6.5 man on the NBA. And here's Kareem with a block inside. And right down there to defend was George Johnson, the Secretary of SWAT. Let's see him do his job.
Well, McAdoo finding Kareem wide open underneath, and George Johnson thought he had a meeting up there at the top with the ball. The Lakers are calling for a goaltend as we take one more look. Doesn't look like there's any contact right there. but he may have gotten a goaltend and gotten away with it.
And I'll tell you something else. He gets a foul, which is 2 on him. Both teams now at 4 team fouls.
Well, George Johnson is going to give up 5 fouls a ball game because he chases a lot of things, trying to make the blocks, and sometimes he comes from behind and comes from funny position, and that hurts him.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, #1 on the scoring average list in the NBA in playoff history. #5 in field goal percentages at 53%. #6 in total rebounds in playoff history. What hasn't he done? And he's trying to go for another ring. It'd be his 3rd. 1 in Milwaukee, 1 in LA. 8 points for the King. And make no mistake about it, he is. On top, you've got Oberding. Wheel it back. That's Gervin. Block shot by Cooper. And can he elevate? Oh, boy, can he get upstairs?
Well, he made an excellent block, but he got him knocked down right there. Stan Albeck not happy with the call. He already been whistled with 1. Gervin getting knocked down right from the side there. Good run at him, though, because Gervin will be thinking about that the next time.
He was laying in the weeds, no question about it. 24-17. Kareem goes out of the game. He'll get a breather here. Interesting substitution policy. Look at this play by Nixon. Pass intended for Bratz. Nixon knocks it away, and they'll give it back to San Antonio. Incidentally, Jake O'Donnell working with Hugh Evans in the game. Now O'Donnell is getting right back in Nixon's face. And he's saying, hey, I've got control of this game. You certainly have one of the best in the business right there in #11, Jake O'Donnell, and the young Pat Riley, who after he was cut loose by Phoenix, ended up on the beach and was bitter about his days in the NBA, and now look at him running a team.
Well, how quickly the worm turns, you know. Everyone that comes into the NBA certainly would like an opportunity to reach that level of success. I don't think that Pat Riley felt that he had that opportunity. The Lakers just playing basketball offensively and defensively. They have a low offensive output against them, 104 a game.
And as I said, going for 6 in a row here tonight in the playoffs. Swept the Phoenix series, have this one. And that's McAdoo. McAdoo, when he came into this series, also up there with a 30.3 NBA playoff scoring average, tied with Kareem. But I said Kareem, by virtue of the fact he'll get more minutes and thus probably more points, will go into that #1 position after this year. Oberding. Bango. And again, Mike Bratz was the man that dished him the ball. Bratz very active, passing it around, and Oberding with 6 in the game. It's 26-19. Stan Albeck, he is irate. He's not a very animated individual.
Well, he wants a call right now. Bratz went down real hard on that pass off to Oberding. No whistle. They get the hoop as the Lakers work for 1 shot.
26-19, down to 13 seconds in the period. First period action at the Forum. Western Conference Finals, as we go right down to who's going to go against the Eastern Conference Kings. And as you see Mitchell go up high, we will have a foul call inside. And who is it going to be called on? It'll be 5 on the Lakers as a team. They'll bring it down the other end. Now they're calling it on San Antonio.
No, they're giving San Antonio the ball. There should be free throws if there was a whistle. It appears that there was no whistle right there. They're going to try to get a shot off, and they don't.
Well, you tell me why they didn't go to the free throw line. That should have been #5 as a team. We'll try and get an explanation for you. Riley and Bertka. That's the end of period 1. It's the Lakers 26, the Spurs 19. You're watching Showdown 82 playoff basketball on the USA Cable Network.
If you thought you were going to see the Oakland A's versus the New York Yankees on Thursday Night Baseball, you are not. You were going to show you Chili Davis and Frank Robinson, San Francisco Giants, against Pete Rose, Mike Smith of the Philadelphia Phillies. That's Thursday Night Baseball, then followed by the 3rd game of the Stanley Cup hockey finals between Vancouver and New York.
All right, here we go, period 2. Bratz, who had 5 assists in that first period, still no explanation, unless there might have been a 24-second violation. It would have happened before the shot. We didn't hear a shot, we didn't hear a whistle, we didn't hear anything. Should have been a foul attempted, but there was not, so we have no way of informing you anymore. Ramb is picking up a foul. He's got 2. Lakers lead 26-19, out-rebounding the strong rebounding Spurs 16-9 in that first period. And there's Bratz. Mike Bratz started out 3rd-round pick from Phoenix, and he's been around since then. He also stopped for a little bit more than a mug of hot cocoa over in Cleveland, and he came down to the Spurs and talk about new life. He said, hey, this is great. McAdoo as he was shoved inside, and Olberding's going to get the foul. They ran McAdoo off a stack that time, Steve, and Olberding trying to fight over the top got caught for the shoving foul.
Well, they had McAdoo in excellent shooting position. He thought he was going to get some free throws. He is not. They're going to take the ball out on the side. But when you speak of a losing situation, and that's what Cleveland has been in the last couple of years, most players that are there and they get a chance to get out, they certainly are going to look much better because they've gone to winning situations.
Jamal Wilkes down to McAdoo. They got him playing the low hole. He can turn that little turn jumper up there as well as anyone. He likes to shoot the ball facing the basket. That time started out with his back to the hoop. Very talented fellow. Rambis 6'9", Wilkes 6'7", and McAdoo 6'11". Try to go to the backdoor lob. A little flat and a little hard. And here come the Lakers. There's that break. Nixon. Oh, is he tough. And you have to be aware of your transition game when you're playing L.A. They are a devastating team on the break. And well, Magic Johnson's not even in there right now.
They're running on every opportunity. So be it a made basket, a turnover, any kind of mistake, they're going to try to get to the other end of the court as quickly as they can. So the Spurs are going to have to make a good transition, and they have to have good offensive execution. The last couple of times down, they seem to be a little bit confused of what they want to do offensively, and they've not gotten the ball into the good scoring area for their score.
Last foul, Nixon, his second, Lakers with 2. One thing that one opposing coach said about the Spurs, in order to beat them, you have to beat their big men back down the floor, and that's what the Lakers are trying to do. Dave Corzine, 6'11", 275 on one leg, and he's playing the hole now as George Johnson has gone to the other side. Corzine has been great during the playoffs, averaging 9.5 rebounds for the Spurs in this, their 3rd series.
Well, the thing that he certainly gives him is not the solid defense, but extra effort at the offensive end. McAdoo on the inside, and he misses. I
said 3rd series, I meant 2nd. He was tremendous against Seattle. Look at the Lakers battle for the ball. That's Wilkes. And Corzine goes high. Played it to Paul, Chicago. Give it to Bratz. Michael Bratz, 6'3", a guard. Very fine free throw shooter, incidentally, in case he gets there. Here's Mitchell. And on the miss, the follow, he can't get it to fall. And
Gene Banks slipped in the ball game already.
It's a long way down there, Steve. There's Cooper. 32-23. We're in Hoagie Carmichael's favorite area. My blue heaven, we're so high here at the Forum. It's nosebleed city up here. I just saw a pigeon fly by. We're going to get it to you, so pardon me if we misassociate names with the faces. And inside on the drive, a good little turn in that time, and another foul against the Lakers.
That's the extra dimension that they get from Corzine that they don't get from George Johnson. Corzine, more of a threat at the offensive end. Good move as he put the pressure on McAdoo down in deep. You take a look at Nixon go against Mike Bratz, and he spins open in the open court, and this is what the Lakers want to do, get into a transition game. Once they do that, they're dangerous.
Incidentally, Magic and Kareem with 8 in the first period. Mitchell with 10 led their respective clubs. Here's Corzine. You look at it, free throw percentage, pretty good for a big man, except he's fallen off a little bit in the playoffs. But what a tower he's been on the boards. He really shoved Donaldson and Sikma around at times in Seattle and against Seattle, and gave him a good go of it. And now, of course, he's got a tougher test here in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the king, tonight. On the back door, the silent assassin. Jump hook. He's got a lot of shots, too. And out in front, Gene Banks. Rookie draft choice, number 2 pick. Give it over to Gervin. Mitchell. And he overlays again. And Corzine with a follow. When you're 6'11", 275, you can move a lot of people around. He's got 6.
Corzine has had 3 opportunities of all of them come inside, and anytime he can stay in that 1-2-foot area, he's going to be very dangerous as the Spurs try to tighten up defensively.
L.A. wins the first game. San Antonio missed 13 free throws. Didn't help. Rambis again. That's 8 rebounds for Kurt Rambis. Make it 11. 11 rebounds for Rambis. What a find he's turned out to be.
Well, his job is to chase the ball, and he's done an excellent job. They have to put a body between him and the basket. They haven't done a good job of it, and that gives Magic Johnson a second opportunity.
And you don't see him shoot that shot from there very often, Steve, but if you sag and leave him open, you can't embarrass him. He's got to take it and make it.
Well, he'll knock those down on you, so you have to play all NBA players. They get a charge against Gervin, and Gervin's finding a tough time getting a call here in the first half.
Gervin, incidentally, 52% regular season, or 50% regular season, 44% playoffs from the floor.
Well, Rambis certainly was there. Gervin had started his drive a little bit early, so he was committed to it. Came down right on top of him. Johnny Moore back in the ball game. Mike Bratz out, a 7-point advantage. 8 minutes to go, plenty of time, Eddie.
Kurt Rambis with 11 boards goes to the Pines for the Los Angeles Lakers. That is a career playoff high for him. There's the big man in the lane. Abdul-Jabbar, 13 years and still cooking. He wants another ring. He's done everything imaginable in his NBA career. He has 10 points and he wants to win more than ever this year. And now Magic Johnson inside saying, hey, who got that foul? Magic with that ever-glowing smile.
Well, the thing certainly that's hurting San Antonio, besides the Lakers breaking the fact that the Lakers, who have not been noted as being a strong rebounding team, are getting multiple opportunities that they're in. Now, there's Gervin on the drive, runs into his own man. I think they give that foul to Bob McAdoo, who came over to try to make the block late.
Here's Gervin, Lakers 36-27 with 7:50 to play here in the half. Halftime feature with Michael Cooper. Steve and I will chat, and then we'll have Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Now think about it. Gervin has just now gotten his 3rd point of the ball game. Again, he has gone a long time. He's just gotten 1 field goal down, but we know he can explode, and he's trying to find the range here at the 4.
Every game we have seen him during the playoffs, and we've seen him a number of times, he has much better second halves than first. Kareem, little air special right into the hands of Mitchell. Out they go on the fly. Oh, that was Banks again, pardon me, on the miss there, and that is Mitchell on the score. So he is off to a flying start with 12. They've got Gervin 6'8" at a guard. They've got Johnny Moore in the game. He was the #1 assist maker in the NBA at the other guy. And as they sag back in on the big man, it's Corzine who gets the foul.
Corzine wants to also get his money's worth as he's having a long talk with Hugh Evans. I don't know. Evans may have a short fuse tonight because he hit Stan Alback very early in the ball game. You'll see Kareem has a good deep position. He doesn't think there's much contact there.
As you see the drive on a nice play, set play. They call it beautifully. Kareem with the assist. He had 6 on Sunday. He is one of the better passing big men in the game, and Wilkes with the 2-pointer. 38-30, Lakers by 8. There's Corzine. He's from Chicago, and he's darn near as big as the John Hancock building of that city. Here's a little toaster half hook.
Banks.
And that's Gene Banks from Duke. He has come on nicely. He's 6'8", 220 pounds, and he is really carved out of marble. 38-32 to score, 6:51 to play in the half, and the Lakers with the lead. Wilkes, the Lakers have come on extremely well in the latter part of the season. The Lakers, incidentally, have won 171 regular season games the last 3 years. They've got a tremendous winning percentage. Look at them bang the offensive board. And that is why Magic Johnson is always up there in what we call triple doubles: points, rebounds, and assists. They created a statistic for him, and no one does it better. Magic with 11.
He created that stat himself. He's done an excellent job of playing the game the way it should be played, offensively, defensively, just doing whatever it takes to get a win out there on the floor. San Antonio is going to take a timeout. They're down by 8 points.
The Lakers out rebounding the Spurs, 23-15 so far, outscoring them by 8. With 6:23 to play here in the half, we'll take a timeout. Lakers by 8. We'll pause right now for this word from your local systems, and we'll be right back. Eddie Doucette, Steve Jones. We're at the fabulous Forum in Englewood, California. Lakers in San Antonio, Game 2 tomorrow night on USA. It'll be Boston and Philadelphia, the second game of that series. And later on this week, we'll have Phillies and Giants baseball on Thursday. We'll have golf, the Colonial Classic on Friday, and then on Saturday night down in San Antonio with the Spurs and the Lakers again, Game 4 of that series. You want primetime sports live? You get it best right here on the USA Network.
Hey, well, when you said that, you said it all, Eddie. I mean, we have been involved in the playoffs in every major sport here on USA. Now, what's interesting to note about this ball game, since the Lakers had that explosive start and they were up 20-7, they have been outscored 25-20, and they're only up by 8. Well, Eddie, you told them about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let me remind the people that is the Vancouver Canucks and the New York Islanders. That game will come from Vancouver, BC, and the Canucks will be trying to stop the Islanders dynasty, and that is at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and that follows baseball on USA Network.
Here's a couple of interesting notes, Steve. The Spurs, you say they're a no-name bunch? Well, I wouldn't say that. George Johnson, #1 in the league in block shots, 3.12 per game. Johnny Moore, #1 in the league in assists, 9.6 a game over the course of the season. And the Iceman, he won the scoring title again, 4 titles in the last 5 years. Only Wilt Chamberlain in the history of this league had 7. And Pat Riley got a chance to see Wilt Chamberlain close up for sure.
Well, You know, you talk about no names. Remember the Miami Dolphins? San Antonio Spurs hope that they can have the same kind of results. Nobody knows them, but they turn out to be the toughest team in the league.
Kurt Rambis, incidentally, with 17 rebounds as his career high regular season, 8 on the offensive boards. Well, what a job he has done. And another missed free throw by the Spurs. Again, I told you 13 misses Sunday. They are 2 for 6 tonight.
They are not shooting the ball particularly well right now. But again, as I said, as Mitchell misses the second time, they have the Lakers now playing a little bit more half-court basketball. The Lakers are forced to shoot the ball from the outside.
Here's Mike Cooper, the best 6th man in the game. Well, some people will argue they love him in L.A. The best 6.5 man in the game, McAdoo gave it up. McAdoo, North Carolina. Cooper, University of New Mexico. Wilkes from UCLA. And that man with a turn jump hook from Michigan State, Magic Johnson. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Good inside play. Magic does a good job of posting up right here. Doesn't look like there's much contact. A little push in the back, and that's where the whistle comes. Johnson flips it up, and it goes down. He works on Gervin, and he has a chance for a three-point play.
What kind of a year did he have? Not bad. #1 in steals, #2 in assists, #1 rebounding guard in the NBA. He does everything, and he'll score you some points as well. Magic Johnson. He loves to get his team out on the fly. Look at that. There might have been a kick ball violation that they may have missed. Didn't get a good look at it. 43-32, and the Lakers on the fly. Cannot convert, and they bang the ball out of bounds. So the Lakers will get it back on the deflection by San Antonio. They'll bring it in with 19 seconds on the shot timer. Norm Nixon comes out to the near side with McAdoo. Far side, they go with Kareem, Magic, and Jamal Wilkes.
Now, with the whistles not going in the favor of the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to have to tighten up mentally, and they're going to have to know that they're not going to get many calls at this particular point and just have better execution and force the Lakers into the style of play they do not like.
Nixon with 3 on the shot clock. No, and the rebound goes to Johnny Moore. Moore tries to get it out, and they can't get it to go. Now, here's Moore. Pardon me, that was Mike Mitchell. Boy, I tell you, we are a long way away, aren't we?
Well, you got your glasses on. I'll see if we can get you some binoculars at halftime, but we're going to work it out. Oberding from the side.
Oberding. Corzine couldn't get to it, and the rebound. And out of there with the ball, Magic Johnson and Norman Nixon from Duquesne. And he may be the heart and soul of this whole team. We talk about the great athletes they have. Nixon, the unsung hero, he just does it every night. Averaged close to 18 points a game regular season. Had his best year ever, over 500 assists again. He's something. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Multiple opportunities. We've seen the Lakers. They started the ball game off with 4 opportunities. They didn't get it down, but they have continued in that vein. They had 3 that time before Magic Johnson's jumper went over the top. That is where San Antonio is going to have to tighten up. They've got the Lakers here in the last 10 minutes to play half-court basketball, but they have not stopped them with second and third opportunities.
43-32, Mark Olverding. They open it up on the give and go that time. Corzine has it blocked. And on the reject stand, Allbeck upset with the Spurs, steal it right back. There's Corzine, show and tell. He's got it. Oh, he showed it to the big guy and went for the fake.
The king.
Yeah. Only Spider-Man could have got that one. 43-34. Corzine with 8 off the bench. And Steve, of course, that reinforces exactly what you said before about how he can give you some offense, whereas George Johnson more of a defensive specialist. Nice little move by Nixon against the crowd, and the rebound. Out of there with it, Mitchell to Johnny Moore. Came from Texas, survived 1 cut, tried to give it up that time, and the #1 assist maker throws it behind. Big Corzine.
Now, what Stan Allback will probably tell his team when they go in the locker room and they have been down, Gervin is going to come out of the ball game. Ed Raines comes back in. Rambis had only 4 rebounds. He has 11 tonight. He's going to tell them we have not gotten a break thus far in the ball game. They are still in the ball game by NBA standards. Down by 9. They have the Lakers playing half-court basketball. They have to tighten up at the offensive end, and they also have to keep the Lakers from getting second opportunity.
3:50 to play here in the half. That's Jamal Wilkes. Played by Oberding. Too quick. And on the play, they get on to Kareem. Back to the weak side. Nixon has to scramble to get the ball. Deflected by whom?
Ball went off
the ball.
Nixon's hand.
All right, they give it back to San Antonio. Ed Raines, 6'7", a rookie from South Alabama. Second-round draft choice. He and Banks both picked on the second round. He started 13 games during the regular season, and the Spurs won 10. So he must have done something right. Try to get it down in the post-up position that time. Can't backdoor Raines. He's as skinny as a reed. He tries to go and has it rejected. Magic ahead to Nixon. Look at him orchestrate. Wilkes. And the silent assassin drives the blade a little deeper. 45-34, 3:07 to play here in the half. Eddie Doucette, Steve Jones from the Forum in Englewood. The Lakers, from here they go back to San Antonio. Corzine, with a good shot for a big man. Nice touch.
Corzine has played an excellent game coming off the bench, and they have to have a player like Corzine, Mitchell, someone to keep them close, which they've been able to do right now. Rambis on a move inside, and they're going to call a travel on Rambis. And so San Antonio finally gets a call. They'll hike the ball out on the side. The crowd does not like it.
Kurt Rambis from Santa Clara, free agent, signed originally as a third-round pick with the Knicks, cut from there, went to Greece, and came over here and made the club this year. Timeout. Lakers 45, Spurs 36. We'll be back in a moment with more of the NBA playoff basketball action on the USA Cable Network.
It was a massacre on Sunday. Philadelphia got beat by 40 points, but you can be sure tomorrow night as USA brings you the Boston-Philadelphia second game. Philadelphia has circled their wagons. They have reloaded their guns, and they are ready to take on those tough Boston Celtics. That will be tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it on USA.
Magic Johnson had 16 rebounds on Sunday. He has 9 already here tonight. He had 13 points on Sunday. He has 14 tonight. He also had 14 assists on Sunday. So far here tonight, he has 2. He's not had that opportunity to get that part of his game going. But how about this man, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? And this fella, Stan Albeck, who was an assistant coach here in Los Angeles before he took a job in Cleveland for a year and ended up in San Antonio now the last 2 years. How about the scoring? Second period so far. Or the field goal shooting percentages, I should say. 45-36 score of the ball game. 2:38 to play in the half.
Nice move by Reigns inside. Made a nice quick little move down and deep. Surprised some of the Lakers. He's got them within 7 points.
All right, so Norman Nixon now with under 2.5 to play in the half. Don't forget Michael Cooper will visit with Steve Jones, and then we'll have Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of the Lakers. All that coming up at halftime tonight. Rambis with a high pick, fighting over the top. Johnny Moore staying right with Nixon. There's Jamal Wilkes, played on by Olberding. Back to Nixon. On the iron, rebound. Olberding can't get it. They've got it back. Nixon. Try to get to the big man. Fought for Corzine. Break ahead. Moore should have a deuce on this one. And the young man, originally drafted by Seattle, prearranged, sent to San Antonio, cut. Went to the University of Texas as an assistant and made the club last year. Gets 2. And then at the other end, it's Kurt Rambis with his first 2 points of the game. 47-40. The Lakers by 7 with 1:45 to play here in the half. On the lob inside. Good move, and Mitchell can't get it to fall. Boy, Mitchell has missed a lot of inside easy shots, overlaying or coming up a little shy.
Well, that guy you've been calling the king had something to do with that one. He had his hand up in the way. He had to change that one a little bit. Corzine came in with the tap, so Corzine off the bench has come up with 12 points, and he's been very effective. Again, a 5-point game, and Kareem with the left hand.
Well, I say, he got no help that time coming from the weak side, San Antonio, as Kareem had a wide-open flash move to the middle of the lane with a turn-in baby left-hand hook. 49-42, jump hook, Mike Mitchell. They used to call him Mitch the Stitch, but he hasn't sewn, which was one of his favorite things to do in the last 4 years. He said, when I came to the NBA, I had enough money to hire a maid. She does all the sewing now. 49-44, the king. There he is on Corzine. And an offensive foul on Abdul-Jabbar. 12 turnovers on the Lakers, and that is the 3rd personal foul on Abdul. 49-44. That's the score by 5 LA with 50 seconds to play here in the half.
Good deep position. The right arm went down just a little bit. Corzine with a pretty good acting job. That gets Kareem out of the ball game with his 3rd personal foul. Only 48 seconds left in the half.
He takes 12 points to the bench with him. You've got Rambis back in. The Lakers kind of zone up a little bit toward the middle when the ball is on the weak side. Or the strong side, they come from the weak side to help in the middle of the lane. And Mitchell with a turn-in move inside is fouled. Now that's a little bit deceiving as you see Magic got that foul. And on the situation now, the Lakers at 5 team fouls. Spurs will go to the line. We should explain that, Steve. When the ball is on what we call the ball side or the strong side, the weak side really cannot come to the middle of the lane to try and get an advantage. They have to stay within a certain distance of their men, but they can go within that inside or outer lane for a certain period of time. But you've got to stay a certain required distance from your man, otherwise you get an illegal defense call.
You took care of that.
All right, thank you.
You did an excellent job of explaining that. The problem has been that most teams try to get their weak side to collapse and come in. That's where you're going to get the help from. They established a rule now saying that you have to be within a certain distance of your man, or it is a zone. Mitchell gets one of the free throws, a 5-point ball game, 36 seconds to go. San Antonio has done an excellent job of staying in the ball game.
And San Antonio's done a poor job at the line. They're 3 for 9. Ed Raines gets the foul. He's got one. The Lakers see the Spurs with 4 now, so they don't go to the line yet. The Lakers with 18 seconds now in the lead. Backdoor goes Jamal. We have a what?
Stepped out of bounds.
A line violation, backdoors. Jamal trying to take it to the back door, did not have the key, and he got caught. Excellent
move. You'll see the foot. And awfully close right there. He steps right on the line, gets a piece of it. Hugh Evans right on top of it. 4-point ball game. My fault. I gave you 5.
Give you a little chuckle. Oliver Hardy's here tonight. Special welcome to the crowd. Little turnaround. No. Follow-up. Corzine again. Nothing. And at the end of the half, as the Lakers, who had at one time a 13-point lead, go to the intermission leading by 4. Los Angeles 49, the Spurs 45. Don't forget Mike Cooper, Dr. Jerry Buss. We'll be back in just a moment with our halftime activities.
But the Los Angeles Lakers have a 6th man, which is also very important for them, and that's Michael Cooper. Mike, the Lakers certainly depend on you a lot, and when you come in the game, what are you trying to do for the team?
Well, thank you, Steve, first of all. But in this certain series, what I try to do is play defense. You know, we got one of the leading scorers in the league, George Gervin, and, you know, I come in and try to stop him. Not stop him, but contain him.
All right, now let's talk about that for a minute, because Gervin had 34 points in game number 1, and it was a hard 34, if we can say that. He went 20 minutes without a field goal. Now, you had to feel that you did a pretty good job on him, but you also got to know tonight he's going to come out firing.
Well, we know that, Steve, and like I said, I'm just trying to contain him. What we try to do, first of all, Jamal has him, and Jamal's role is just to deny him the ball if possible, and then second of all, just to push him out to take shots that he don't want to take, to make his shots come difficult for him, you know, because you don't want nobody like Ice to get going, run off 10, 12 points in a row, and, you know, he could possibly get on his way to 50 points, you know. But, you know, our job is just to make him take shots that he don't want to take.
All right, now let's talk about the Laker defense. Certainly they have gone to a different style, which perhaps helps you and helps them when they get out and run. You like to trap a lot more. Is that successful against a guy like Gervin?
Most definitely. I think it, well, first of all, what we try to do is when they're bringing it up the court, we don't want them to bring it up and have a lot of time to set up and really look for George. Our trapping defense is mainly just to make them waste a little bit of time on the floor and get them out of what they want to do. Get them into a scramble game, which is our game, and then hopefully, if possible, we got players with quick hands that can deflect the ball or get some steals.
All right, Mike, you're on a roll. We appreciate you stopping in. Good luck tonight in the ball game.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, we're here at halftime. We'll pause now for our local systems. You're watching Showdown 82, NBA basketball on USA Cable Network.
And Jerry, it's good to see you. Have not seen you in a while, but I'm sure that you have got to be very excited with the way your club has played. You like excitement. You've got an exciting atmosphere for basketball here, and your Lakers are certainly an exciting team.
Well, I think first and foremost, you know, all of these things have to be entertainment, Eddie, and I'm very pleased because obviously with a packed house and the fact that we're on television pleases me no end. I am pleased with the way the team's playing. I give a lot of credit to San Antonio. You know, they're only 4 points down, and I thought we played a tremendous half.
Pleased, that's a big word. Pleased with Pat Riley's job?
Oh, unbelievably. I really think Pat deserves a lot of credit. You know, a lot of people have always wondered, can you take a group of all-stars and make a cohesive unit as a basketball team from them? Nobody's really done that before, and this is a new experiment. The fact that he's been able to do it so well, I think, is a great testament to the man.
Been an interesting year, had a lot of controversy early. I think Magic Johnson handled that well. You've seen his maturation. He's a young man, but he sure does a big job, and of course has handled a lot of pressure this year.
Eddie, it was a very big unfortunate thing because Magic had nothing to do with that. I know I'm going to repeat that until the day I die, and probably no one will believe it, but they would believe West and Sharman because they were there at the same time when we decided to fire the coach days earlier. But he took it, he accepted it, he matured, and we'll all come out the better for it.
Is there a Sampson in your future?
I'm not permitted to say anything about that, Eddie.
Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. We will be back and we'll have exciting basketball on the USA Cable Network. We're back at the Fabulous Forum, one of the greatest backdrops for this game in the world, and we'll do that when we return. They led by 13 points, and they barely hung on as the Spurs came up with a little bit of a rush. The Lakers did a lot of what they did in spurts, and as a result, they're hanging on. But watch out for Gervin and the Spurs here in the second half. Now let's take a look at some of the figures that we may have to pass along to you. On the individual scoring, you're looking at Norm Nixon and the Lakers. And let's see who we have as we get to provide you an opportunity to look in to see how the scoring in the first half went. Magic Johnson with 14 points led the Lakers. Abdul-Jabbar had 12. He also had 5 rebounds. Magic with 9. And we look at some of the first half highlights with Gervin at the other end. Gervin ends up with only 3 points, and this is the only field goal he had in the entire first half. On the individual side, you look at the Spurs. Mike Mitchell with 15, but he was 7 for 16 from the floor. 6 points for Mark Olberding. He was the second leading scorer. Check that. Corzine 12 in the second period. And you look in now with Mitchell, Corzine, Olberding, George Gervin, and Johnny Moore for the Spurs. On the team statistics, now we're going to get a chance to look at the Lakers. And Magic Johnson will come in and show you how he got a lot of his points in the first half. Magic with 14 points and 9 rebounds. And again, inside they go with Magic Johnson. There's that little turnaround on the jump hook. He'll hit this one. He'll end up getting fouled, and he'll go to the line on this particular play. It'll end up being a 3-point play for Magic, and part of the reason why he led with 14 points. Jamal Wilkes with 12, Abdul-Jabbar with 10, Norm Nixon with 5, and Bob McAdoo with 4. 49-45 at halftime. And in a moment here, we'll have an opportunity to show you how the teams did statistically with the San Antonio Spurs and the Lakers. Looking in right there, the Spurs 46%, the Lakers 48%. Free throws, look at that, 3 for 9, 5 for 5. The free throw or lack of free throw shooting has haunted the Spurs, while the rebounding 30-19. Big edge against the #1 rebounding team in the NBA the last 2 years, the Spurs. There's the Iceman, Gervin. Now let's watch him go to work here in the second half.
Well, you know that eventually he's going to have an outstanding game. He has had 200 and some consecutive double-figure ball games. We know that he's a great offensive player. They stripped him of the ball this time, but I'm sure that he's ready to go to work here in the third period.
Rambis. Kurt Rambis. Boy, oh boy. He has really been a study this year. Rambis with 4 points in the game, but 11 rebounds. Hasn't he been something? 51-45. Turnovers in the first half. San Antonio 9, Lakers with 12. Magic Johnson, incidentally, who stole the ball from Gervin, #1 in that category in the NBA this past year, as Pat Riley, who we talked with or about with Dr. Jerry Buss, has done an outstanding job with this team as he picked up when Paul Westhead was relieved, as we mentioned earlier. And now we have a 51-45 score with the inbound. In 10 seconds, the Spurs in possession. There's Gervin to Corzine. He starts out the third period. They want to keep his offense in the game. And the ball's tipped in. Mike Mitchell. So Mitchell comes up with his 17th point of the game. Well, if he had made a lot of those inside plays, it might have been a different ball game. 51-47 now. Lakers lead by 4.
Well, the old axiom amongst coaches is if you let a team hang around long enough, eventually they're going to turn around and bite you. And that's what the Los Angeles Lakers do not want to do with the San Antonio Spurs. A 4-point ball game. And they have the Lakers shooting the ball from the outside, but again, they're giving up multiple opportunities. Rambis, he misses.
Well, Rambis is a big man. Weighs over 230.
They got a wide open break, and they're not going to be able to convert the layup.
Mitchell. We've not had that many break opportunities. We don't have the break statistics, but the Lakers clearly did the job on the Spurs in game 1. As you see, the miss by Nixon and the rebound by Corzine. And Johnny Moore takes it out into the corner. They'll set up a play. The half-court offense that the Spurs are going to now is not what they do best.
Nice pass by Gervin inside.
Gervin with his 4th assist of the game. And here we go. 51-49. Becomes a 2-point ball game. And while you would think that the Lakers have dominated, suddenly it's a 2-point game.
Well, the Lakers have done it with burst, and that's how they've kept control of the ball game. They dominated the early part of the ball game. They're up 20-7. They've been outscored since that time, but they've been able to get just enough of a spurt to keep them ahead.
Kareem tries to go up with it. Ball bang loose. Stan Albeck over there doing a good job of coaching. Stan, you talk about a man that prepares his club. He is as thorough as they come. And immediately the Spurs inbound the ball under the new rules. You don't have to wait until everybody's set up, and now you've got a foul call inside. That's Mike Mitchell who receives the foul. And we'll bring you up to date with Rambis, Kareem, and Wilkes in the front line. Magic and Nixon the guards for L.A. There's Kurt Rambis, who gets yet another foul. He fouled out of the first game.
Remember last year, Kansas City and Houston, two teams that just kept hanging around and kept hanging around, and they kept winning ball games. And that is what the Los Angeles Lakers don't want to see. But we see that in the San Antonio Spurs this year against Seattle. They were down early. They kept coming. They kept coming. They kept coming. Mitchell has a chance with these 2 free throws to tie the ball game up, but he's having a real tough time from the line.
Mitchell at the line has missed 4 free throws. He's made 1. The Spurs as a team poor, 3 for 10.
Maybe we'll get your old Cotton Fitzsimmons strategy. Foul Mitchell, keep fouling him. That way they'll keep him from scoring.
Cotton Fitzsimmons, incidentally, was one of the fellas that said that when they got Mitchell down in San Antonio, now they have 2 people on that team that don't do any rebounding. So he missed on that one. Cotton doesn't miss on many, but he missed on his evaluation of Mike Mitchell as he would contribute to the Spurs. That's the silent assassin, Jamal Wilkes. UCLA, John Wooden loved him when he was there, and why not? Look at what he's done here as a pro. 12 points in the game. Wilkes incidentally played on an played a lot of NC2A championship teams, but he also played on an NBA championship team. And on that little thrust, Gervin. Now look for him to go to more shooting here in the second half.
Well, I think he's beginning to find himself and what he's going to be able to do against his defensive alignment that they've been running at him. Wilkes and Cooper, double teams, triple teams at all time when he has the ball. He's beginning to make the adjustments that the great players do.
Spurs hanging in there now. Now cut the lead to 1. Wilkes. They can go ahead right here. Johnny Moore, watch him direct the club. Mitchell. Opportunity to go ahead, and Kareem with another rebound. Here comes Nixon. Watch the Lakers. They open up that floor. They love to run on the open floor. Nixon on the thrust. Offensive foul. Norman Nixon. Interesting matchups. Pat Riley not happy with the call, but I guarantee you that Jake O'Donnell was a lot closer than Pat was.
Wow. Good penetration right there, but you'll see then that's Mike Mitchell right there centered in the lane. Nixon went right over the top of him, and Gervin from the outside.
And he had his feet planted, and at the other end, while all that's going on, we had a jump shot 2-pointer as George Gervin has scored from about 16 feet out on the left side. And the Spurs have taken the lead here in the second half for the first time. 54-53, 7:54 to play in the third. Nice move by Jamal Wilkes. Wilkes, the veteran. This is his 8th year. Had a 22.6 average last year, 21 plus this year. Remember, the Lakers led by 13 with 6:18 in the first period. They now have a 1-point lead as Corzine. And on his miss, Mitchell. And the Spurs go ahead again by 1, 56-55.
Now the Spurs are doing one of the things that they do best, which is get multiple opportunities after missed shots. They leave Nixon wide open, and that's a shot he wasn't knocking down in the first half. You can't let him find the range.
But he had 31 on Sunday, a new career high, and he did that with regularity. You sag off of him, and he'll kill you. And now we have a violation and a foul call, whistled by Jake O'Donnell.
Jamal Wilkes holding Gervin inside. Pat Riley certainly not happy with the turn of events right now. His team only up by 1, and they certainly don't have the same type of control that they had of the ball game in the first period.
And watching Wilkes' foul total as it goes to 3, and Cooper will get a call. Here's Gervin, tries to lean in. Look at the double team with Kareem and Wilkes. Open Oberding. Oberding's not figured much offensively today. He has 8 points in the ball game. And now in the yo-yo game, it's the Spurs by 1. Nixon, what a thrust. The trailer! And it's the King who buries one. 59-58, Lakers by 1.
Now, anytime he can get down there, that's going to make not only you, but everybody here in the forum jump out of their seat. Excellent penetration, created a play.
You knew he was going to make something happen there. There's the Iceman. Corzine, and taken away in a foul call. I love to watch George Gervin play the game. He is the most incredible offensive player in the game, and there's Magic Johnson, not a bad performer either. Unbelievable talent out here tonight. You're seeing the best in NBA basketball. 6:31 to play in the third. It's the Lakers 59, the Spurs 58. This is Showdown 82 coming your way on the USA Cable Network.
8:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the same two teams in game number 3. The San Antonio Spurs, who have clawed their way back into this ball game, down to the Los Angeles Lakers, trying to steal a win here, trying to go up back into Alamo City of San Antonio. Be in Texas with USA.
Steve Jones, the Lakers won 15 of their last 19 regular season games, and overall 20 of their last 24, including the playoffs. They've been playing extremely good basketball, while the Spurs, after the All-Star break, were 20-20. They finished the season that way, but what a job against Seattle they did when they beat Seattle 4-1 in that series, when many people said they'd go to their traditional choke act. Now, this is what the Spurs have been accused at, and boy, there's nothing that grates more with Stan Albeck and his staff and his team than to hear the fact that they might choke. They have a fine basketball team, and they have done a tremendous job in preparing for the playoffs. Corzine at the line. We talked about this last week when we were down there, Steve. Stan Albeck, during the week layoff, when he was waiting for the winner of the Laker-Phoenix series, took his team over to University of Texas El Paso and drilled them like Marines for a week, working against the 24-second clock, and it has paid off in big dividends because they have had a couple of games they have had to win close to the wire. One a week ago Friday night on the USA Network. 60-59 the score. San Antonio by 1. The King again. Skyhook City. Rebound. And it's Corzine. Smartly draws it up under control and leaves it for the man paid to do that. That's Johnny Moore. Try to go to the back door. Gervin. He can't. Corzine. That's Gervin. Pardon me. Had the wrong guy in there. Again, we're a long way away. All right, let's set the lineups for you. You've got Moore out on top.
Spurs with their biggest lead at 3 points.
And you have Gervin with 9, so he has come alive. Moore playing Nixon on the ball. Kareem, he wants to go to the lane, and it's Corzine who bumps in. Corzine, Mitchell, and Olberding on the front line. That's a big jumbo line as you look at him, 6'11", 275. And at the guard line, you've got Gervin and Johnny Moore. There's Nixon.
Well, you get no argument from Corzine this time. You get the whistle. He agrees with the call, but he was trying to keep Kareem from getting that deep position, which has hurt him so many times. Nixon on the drive, but they have the Lakers in the half-court basketball game, and this is where you're going to be successful against Los Angeles. Keep them in a half-court game, make them go to their good execution if they're going to beat you. Nixon with the good penetration right here. You have several people reaching in. Gervin gets called for the foul.
Now, normally, Steve, you see Magic Johnson go to the penetration. But tonight, more than ever, we've seen Norm Nixon play that role rather than stay outside and pop the long one. And maybe that's part of the strategy of the L.A. coaching staff. 62-61, Spurs by 1.
Well, it's the first time we've seen the Laker press, but I think that both of those guards are so good. They're going to take whatever the defense gives them, and they're going to take the strongest part of their game on that particular night. And they're not scoring well as Corzine makes a costly turnover.
And here's Magic. Overlay. Rebound. Cooper. And the 6'6" jumping jack from New Mexico is fouled inside. So you've got Cooper inside. Jamal Wilkes is out of the game with Magic Johnson. Bob McAdoo. Kareem is standing back here, and you've got McAdoo at a big forward position.
Well, there was the mistake, trying to pass that ball from out there, and not a good angle. Magic knifes his way through. He wants a whistle on this drive. He doesn't get it. Cooper comes in with the follow and goes back up, gets the contact inside. I think they give that call to Johnny Moore. Cooper misses his first opportunity.
That's right. Moore with 2. Lakers watch now as the Spurs go to 3 team fouls. There is Cooper. Cooper, they call him Double D. Dunk and defense, and he can do both. Stan Albeck, and we have a deuce game, 62-62. Different second half. The Lakers open up the early lead, led big by 13. Spurs came back, cut it to 4 at the half, and now have gone ahead by as many as 3 and are locked in a deuce affair at 62 each. 5:10 to play in the third. Olberding coming from the weak side. Good shooter. He can bang the boards, too. Believe me, he can bang them well.
Now, one of the things San Antonio has been able to do is get that ball down and deep in the painted area, and they've been able to exploit the fact that the Lakers have been shutting them out from coming out on the wings to catch the ball. They've been getting it right in there where Olberding just got that last basket down.
64-62. There's McAdoo. Labored for many years in Buffalo. The Knicks, Detroit, New Jersey. Came over here and rings the bell, and what a help he has been to them. McAdoo came here for a second-round pick in '83 and $150,000 in cash. A steal, the way he has played. Olberding He had to jackknife that baby to get it from 17 feet away. 66-64. Spurs shooting much better here in the third.
Well, this is their kind of game right now, and you can see the confidence growing in their team. Players are trying to get the ball in their scoring area. Gervin trying to get the foul there. He doesn't. Fortunate for him because he was still moving. That would have been a big foul on Gervin, who's just beginning to score. The ball game tied up again. Nixon, big drive.
And Nixon looking like the proverbial hot knife through butter as he slices through the Lakers, and he's been doing it all night long. Good penetrating drives. Gervin tried a little hitch and go. Knocked away by the Laker inside defense. Magic on the save. Stop and go Nixon. Bangle!
If you look at Stan Alback, I mean, he's going crazy. He can't get a call down at his end, and then they come back. Nixon on a stop and go. An excellent move, as you see it from the beginning. Now, Nixon right on the break right here. A little hesitation, Johnny Moore. Go for that. Now he goes up. Moore says he went straight up. Nixon came down on top of him, goes to the line, has a chance for three.
Nixon has been sensational here in the second half, and Moore has not been able to stop him. Moore trying to get back and cover on the transition, but can't get back to cut him off. Moore loves to go to his right. You'll watch now as Nixon will try and force him inside, away from the right-hand dribble drive. There they go, Gervin back door. Steve, you know, a lot of people will look at that and say, what, that's a playground shot. But let me tell you something. This is the kind of shot that Gervin used to practice 1,000 times a night as a high schooler, every night for 4 or 5 hours a night after they turned off the lights and he went to the gym and got the keys and found the main switch. He did that every night. He was a JV basketball player in high school. He played through and eventually has become the star that he is in this league.
I guess he was a stiff when he was a young kid, but he's a star now. That's what hard work will do for you. Certainly, he has shown that it has paid off. Gervin, the sensational offensive player. He's gotten 10 points here in the third period.
69-68. Lakers by 1. Again, the Spurs hanging right in there. And there's Nixon. Moore has got a big job to try and stop Norman. They're trying to penetrate, take Moore inside, rub him off, picks. And here's an offensive foul caused by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I believe number 4.
Right. He had the position, and he tried to hold that position, but that zone was wide open, and Jake O'Donnell made an excellent call that time. Corzine with good position.
There's big Corzine. He is from the windy one.
Nice
and
move.
The turn in, nice move. Corzine, he tried to work to get that bounce feed inside. He did, and Mitchell with a nice move. You notice how they're fronting Mitchell, but he still has 22.
Again, they're exploiting the fact that the Lakers are trying to shut him out from getting that primary pass that leaves the middle open. They're dropping the ball inside, and that's hurting the Lakers defensively. Nixon again.
Nixon on a switch that time, shot over the big man, Corzine. You can't stop him. He's red hot. 71-70. Nixon with 16 points. He has 11 here in the third period. Something else. Corzine, they may have to make an assignment, a defensive assignment switch on Nixon to try and cut him off. Here's Gervin. No foul. Jump hook. And my, how Gervin has started to go to the arsenal to try and score some points. And down on the floor is Michael Cooper. Dr. Robert Curlin is attending. One of the foremost physicians in this land.
Looks like he's out down there. As we take a look, he comes in right here, takes a pretty good shot right in the midsection, and then he goes down. And I don't know whether he had the wind knocked out of him before he went to the floor, and his head hit the floor. We'll take another look as we see the contact right there.
Hard to tell whether he may have hit his head on the floor when he went down. Didn't look like he got hit in the head on the contact, but he may have bumped it on the floor. Well, we have a timeout. 2:33 to play here in the third period, and it's the Lakers 71. While the Lakers have now fallen behind the Spurs by 1, 72-71. Let's pause for our local systems. This is Showdown 82 on the USA Cable Network. Here we go. And on the shoulder contact, it looked like Gervin may have hit him in the face with the shoulder, Steve. And down goes Cooper. And they're not allowing him to move until Dr. Curlin can assess just how significant this injury might be.
Well, he's down, and certainly they don't want to lose him. He looks like he's up on his feet. They're going to take him off the floor right now. Cooper, a very fragile ball player in terms of contact. He plays a very aggressive game. We will try to get a report on exactly what's wrong with him, if he's okay. And remember, The Lakers have seen another key player go down, but he came back in to play a strong second half, and that was Magic Johnson. Just before the end of the half against Phoenix in the first game, Johnson looked like he might be out, and he came back, and he was sensational.
Eddie Doucette, Steve Jones. This is the Fabulous Forum in Englewood, California. And it is the home of the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't forget, tomorrow night on the USA Cable Network, it'll be Philadelphia at Boston. And we have a technical foul called on the Laker bench, I believe. Incidentally, Corzine with 16 points has established a new playoff high for himself individually. And the Spurs go ahead by 2. Stan Albeck, who assisted with the Laker team a few years ago when Jerry West was the head man, and of course now Pat Riley, who was a broadcaster with the Lakers before he made the move down onto the floor.
Well, there's hope for you. You know, the guy that told you down in San Antonio he wanted to take you and put you on his hip. Listen to this, George Gervin coming back. 16 points against Seattle in the third. He has 12 so far against the Lakers here in the third period, and his team is on top now. 73-71
score. I don't know if I want to make that move to the floor. I saw another broadcaster try that one in baseball. It didn't work out all that well. I was the designated broadcaster for a year. Took my cuts and took a pass. 73-71 the score of this one by 2, the Spurs, with 2:18 to play in the third, and here is Big Bob McAdoo. You imagine the turmoil this young man must have gone through. He's only 30 years old. But the turmoil that he went through while he was trying to figure out what had happened to his career after 3 NBA scoring titles.
Well, I think what was bothering him more was he went from a very hot commodity to very cold. He was like something on the stock market, a glamour stock that everybody wanted, and suddenly nobody wanted him, and it was tough to figure out. He misses his second opportunity. Big George Johnson in the ball game. Corzine, who's played an excellent game, will take a quick blow.
George Johnson is 6'11", orbiting underneath. No rebound on that one. As the Lakers come up, and Gervin has the 16th point of the game for him, but he has 13 here in the third period. We knew he was going to get it going. How about Nixon? How about Norman Nixon?
And he's also got it going. He only had 4 points in the half, and I think he's had an excellent third period. He's come up with about 10, 12 points so far.
All right, here come the Spurs. When it comes right down to it, if all things break down, the individual talent takes over. You've got some of the best in the game between these two teams here tonight. Olberding goes up with it. They just signed Olberding to a new long-term contract, and he is one of the saving hopes for that city. He and Gervin are the guys they've got locked up for a long time. Here's Ed Raines. You see his season average and his playoff average, 6'7". He replaces George Gervin. They replace a 6'8" guard with a 6'7" guard. Has the game changed? Oh, boy. Here's Raines. Follow-up tap inside, that time by George Johnson, and it gets nowhere. Here's Nixon to McAdoo. Deep penetration. He made a living on that little fadeaway jump shot when he was in Buffalo. And here comes Johnny Moore. They call him Junior for short. Olberding, pull up.
Jethro has got it going for sure right now. He bangs away with another jumper from the outside, and San Antonio very confident. Mike Cooper sneaks back onto the Laker bench, so he appears all right.
All right, here's Norman Nixon. Nixon trying to get it inside to Magic. Now, that's an interesting tandem right there. You've got the number 2 assist maker, that man right there, Magic Johnson, being fed by the number 4 assist maker in the NBA. That's a lot of assists between those two gentlemen. And you wonder why the Lakers did so well. As you look at Cooper, who appears to be all right. They got him back in a hurry, and out goes Norman Nixon for a little breather. 6'6", replacing 6'2".
Well, you talked about talent, and talent, the Lakers are loaded with it, and they play the style that accentuates that. When they run, there's plenty of assists to be given out.
Los Angeles Lakers, the NBA champs in 79 and 80. They swept Phoenix 4-0. While San Antonio walked by Seattle, surprisingly 4-1. Many people figured Seattle would win that one. 77-76. Showdown, Western Conference Final. Junior Moore. Good Laker defense inside and out of bounds. It'll go back to San Antonio, and they'll blow the clock to 24. And with 51 seconds to play in the third, the Spurs will get another opportunity to score right here.
Well, Moore made good penetration, a little short with the shot. The Lakers thought they had it, and they almost get a turnover here with George Johnson. And they got the ball back and have a chance to score. Mark Olberding looks at the clock.
Moore, he'll let the air out of the ball here for about 10 seconds and then take a shot with about 2 remaining on the shot clock. Irvin, that's Mitchell. Mitchell forcing, and the follow-up that time by Mike Mitchell. He's missed a lot, but he's made a lot. And Mitchell now with 24 points in the game. He had 25 in game 1. He averaged over 20 points a game during the regular season. 21 seconds to play in the third. Jamal, Bob McAdoo, 6'9½", North Carolina. Went to the semifinals with North Carolina, his only year there. 9 points for McAdoo. 79-78 Spurs by 1 Lakers. Defensively with 6 seconds remaining, Johnny Moore. Not this time, and that'll do it. The Spurs have outscored the Lakers by 5 in the third, and they've taken a 1-point lead. We've played 3, and an interesting fourth on the way. San Antonio 79, Lakers 78. We'll be back in a moment with Showdown 82 on the USA Network. The Spurs by 1 after 3, 79-78.
Well, George Gervin was the guy that got them on top. We talked about it at halftime. Eventually the explosion was going to come. He was 5 of 6 in the third period, had 13 points. They got on top. They feel very confident about the way things are going. And anytime you're the visitor and things have been as difficult for you as they have been for the San Antonio Spurs, and you claw your way back in it, you have to feel very good about it. What the Lakers now will try to do is get back to that running style of play.
All right, Cooper Nixon at the guards, McAdoo in the hole with Jamal Wilkes and Kurt Rambis in the front line. For the Spurs, you've got George Johnson, Ed Raines. On the back door, McAdoo. Beautiful lob. Cooper, usually on the receiving end, was the man that triggered the pass. McAdoo flashing backdoor LA by 1. Here's a note. Going into the fourth period during the regular season, LA was 8-18, trailing going into the fourth period.
I was down here at the Forum earlier this afternoon watching the Lakers and the Spurs work out. This is the play that they worked for every single player up on the front line, and this one works because there's no pressure on the passer. Michael Cooper, he has plenty of time to spot McAdoo, who takes it over the top. Nice execution.
The Los Angeles Lakers with 7 divisional titles since 1971. Not many have done better than that. That's Olberding. Tough shot and an in and outer. Hoop didn't want it in the rebound. Jamal Wilkes, the silent assassin. Look at Nixon on a 3-1 goal rush. Overlaid by McAdoo. Rambis fights and can't get. They had the thin man, Ed Raines, comes away with it.
They had the excellent opportunity. McAdoo got a little bit too deep in, had to take it up with his left hand, couldn't get it to go.
Set play, back pick that time, but George Johnson, Olberding in the miss, and a rebound foul called against San Antonio. 80-79, Lakers by 1 with 11:04. George Johnson gets the foul. And let's see what we have. We've got Johnson, Raines, and Olberding in the front line with Mike Bratz now starting here in the fourth period. He will replace Johnny Moore. Stan Albeck feels a little bit more comfortable down the stretch with Bratz, who is more of a veteran, replacing Moore, the second-year man. Norman Nixon. Duquesne. Didn't get it. Jamal Wilkes. And he travels with the ball.
Well, I think that the difference in the game is that Mike Bratz is a better outside shooter. We saw him knock that big hoop that won the ball game down for them against Seattle. That's his specialty. Johnny Moore is much better penetration. The Lakers will try to cut that off.
Gervin 1 for 8 in the first half. Much better second half as he misses his shot here in the fourth period. He was 5 for 6 in the third period. 13 points, 16 in the game for Gervin. And Wilkes at the other end off the Gervin miss. And now the Lakers lead by 3. 82-79 score. 10:29 to play in the ball game. 16 points for the silent assassin.
Well, Mike Mitchell gets up off his bench very quickly. The Spurs don't want to lose control of the ball game that they have. They struggled in the last 2 offensive possessions.
Great defense by LA, but yet Gervin still slices through the crowd. Here they come. They have a 4-2 goal rush, and they're on their way to the bank. Rambis with a follow off a missed layup attempt on a 4-2 by Cooper. And the Spurs will call for time. Wow. Rambis now with 14 rebounds to go along with a soft offensive night, but that offensive rebound right there in the jam 2 is a big 2-pointer and a 5-point Laker lead. LA with a 10-rebound edge in the game, and they now lead by 5. We've got a timeout. LA 84, Spurs 79. We'll be back in just a moment.
The 1982 Missile Championship Series kicks off this Friday on USA. This will be Missile's first new season of championship play with their new format, the best-of-5 series. And we'll have the New York Arrows versus either the Wichita Wings or the St. Louis Steamers. That game will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Friday on USA, and that will follow the Colonial National Invitational.
All right, Gervin and Bratz at the guards. Lakers have scored 6 in a row. Nixon and Cooper, the Laker defensive guards. Los Angeles doing a good job of switching up on the D. There they are. They step up, help out on the thrust. And on the attempt to go to the hoop by Raines that time, they set him up a foul call. You've got Corzine, along with Mike Mitchell, and let's see, Ed Raines in the front line, as you've seen him swing guard to forward now. You've got Gervin and Bratz, the guards. Veteran team with the exception of Raines for San Antonio. There's the youngster, and he hits. During the regular season, Ed Raines, who did not play all that much, he ended up with 49 games, shot 59% at the line. And there's part of the reason why. He shot that one up a little hard, a little hastily, and McAdoo with a rebound. The Lakers, with their third best year ever attendance-wise, 14,765 in the average, have 17,505, a full barn here tonight. And they're loving what they're seeing. 84-80, a Laker lead. Michael Cooper, they love their sixth man. 86-80. The Lakers now have outscored the Spurs 8-2. Spurs led by no more than 3. LA has come back after leading by 13 in the first period and losing it. Mitchell, nice swing swoop to the hoop for the former Auburn graduate.
Mitchell's had an outstanding game. He has kept them close when they needed an offensive player. Now Gervin has gotten back in the act, and when they can keep the Lakers shooting the ball from the outside, they control the basketball game. When the Lakers do what they did at the top of the period, get out and run, they're tough.
No charge. That's Gervin. And on the miss off the lean in that time, saved by Randall. You know, I said former Auburn graduate. Why wouldn't he be an Auburn graduate right now?
You see, excellent play, and that's the play that really makes Michael Cooper such an exciting player. Now you'll see Gervin come inside. Cooper trying to draw the foul. He doesn't get the whistle. Gervin had time, didn't get the shot to go down.
Gervin got a break. I think it was a foul. 86-82. Three-point attempt, no. McAdoo. Up he comes and pulls up under control. McAdoo to Cooper on the wing. Back to Rambis. Boy, they better re-sign him. He's a free agent, and Magic Johnson, their #1 cheerleader at this time, kind of moving his team down. 8 points for Rambis with all those rebounds to boot.
Well, Lakers have scored all of their points in transition on the break, and they're going to have to get, San Antonio's going to have to get back and shut that down. And here the Lakers come again.
Got to concentrate on the transition. The Lakers got that break going. The Spurs got in the game when they controlled the Laker tempo. Set them up, made them set up in the half-court game. And here are the Spurs, and an overlay by Gervin. Corzine, he overlaid. And here comes Cooper with a man ahead. That's Jamal Wilkes. And a foul called on Mike Bratz. 88-82, 7:45 to play in the game. And Stan Albeck, who is working with 7 new faces this year, is not happy with the way things are molding right now.
Well, his team did so much to get control of the basketball game, and he sees it slipping away right now. The Lakers have been able to get down very quickly. Mike Bratz comes across the arm. That's going to get Jamal Wilkes to the line. I think what caused that was the fact that Gervin went in for the penetration. They thought he got fouled. They were all slow in getting back. That allowed the Lakers to get that quick top down at the other end, and they're now up by 7 again.
89-82. Steve, how can they go back to getting the Laker break under control and forcing them into that half-court game?
Well, offensively, they have got to have better shot selection. They cannot come up with the loose play at the offensive end, which has allowed the Lakers to get out and run. They've got to try to get that ball back in that paint. They were getting those good scoring chances down and deep.
There's a double team. And on the block shot, an attempt inside by Gene Banks. They come up with a donut. Cooper, and a foul call. Now, a big part of the reason why the Lakers have gone back on top by 8 is the fact that they have out-rebounded Jack Nicholson. I'm going to take a quick trip over the cuckoo's nest here. Is the fact they have out-rebounded the Spurs by 12 in the game.
Well, they look to run on every situation. Cooper back in the ball game after being knocked down does not appear to be injured. He just glides in between 2 people there. He's going to go to the free throw line. You'll see the Spurs are slow in getting back, and you're not stopping the basketball out of high. That creates a problem. Anytime you can get down in that area, you're either going to get the shot off or you're going to get fouled. Stan Albeck takes a 20-second timeout. He is exhorting his team now, fellas, we got to have it. In the final 7:26 of the game, we have got to get back. We've got to shut off the break, and we've got to get offensive execution. They have struggled here in the third period. They have only scored 3 points so far, and that certainly has hurt them.
How about these numbers? Fourth period rebounds. LA 8-2 for the game, 46-34. You don't get second shot opportunities when you're not banging the boards. And the league's best rebounding team, the Spurs, have gotten manhandled by the second best, the Los Angeles Lakers. Interestingly enough, during the regular season, LA about 45.9 rebounds a game. The Spurs 46.2. But in the 5 games played between these two teams, the Lakers out-rebounded the Spurs by 5 boards a game, 49-44. And that is a telling statistic because they've continued to do that here in this series. 46-34 the score of this game. 46-34 the score of the rebound battle right now, I should say. As Corzine comes down, trailing by 10. Block shot, foul, Los Angeles. The Lakers have gone to another spurt when they have had to have it. And their spurts have really told a big story of this one.
Corzine gets a good deep penetration. Cooper tries to come over and make the block. He thinks he gets it. He does not. Corzine will go to the free throw line. But you'll also notice that the Lakers are now going to their half-court trap, trying to keep the tempo of the game quick.
All right, now, Steve, here's an important number also. The Spurs, 11 for 19 at the line. The Lakers, 16 for 18. Opportunities have been equal, but the Spurs have missed 5 more free throws.
Well, they certainly haven't taken advantage of the fact they've gotten to go to the free throw line, but they were able to get back into the game. As we look at the break point, the Lakers again outstanding in that category, 26-8.
92-84, LA with 7:06 to play. Trying to go 2 up on the series, 2-0 before going back to San Antonio. Corzine with yet another rebound. My, oh my, he has done a fine job for the Spurs this year. On the miss by Mitchell. Follow-up tip in.
Never came out.
Mitchell.
Got it to stay down all the way.
All right, so Mitchell gets his 2-pointer to add to his total, 28. And Jamal Wilkes rings the bell for the Lakers at the other end. And it's 94-86, and Jamal, again, a 20-point night. Here's Gervin. Does the 360, dishes it off. Mitchell again, he's got a pair. And you want to thank Mr. Gervin, who has been really giving the ball up. Interestingly enough, when Mitchell came down, as you look at the scoring here, when Mitchell came down to San Antonio, he was reluctant to score. One night in the game, he kept throwing the ball to Gervin, and Gervin said, hey, take the ball and shoot it. That's what we brought you down here. I can't do it all by myself. Since that time, he has over 20 a game. Cooper, pump fake, high on the way up.
Long rebound that time, and Allback not happy with that, but that's one of those unfortunate breaks. The ball came long. Cooper was right there, got Gervin off his feet, got it up and down. Turnover.
96-88, Lakers, 5:53. Cooper, what a fast break. What a fast break basketball team the Lakers have. That is pretty. And the Lakers, with a 12-rebound advantage in the game, have dominated that, and it's triggered their break at the other end. 98-88. Good move inside. Mitchell with a hanger, and it rolls it up to the rim and down. And Mitchell starting to really run up the points. He's got 32. Rambis, left hand, pushed it up. If that had gone, I'd have fallen out of the seat. Corzine.
And you would have fallen a long way.
Yeah. About 19 stories. Kurt Rambis. Has he been active?
You see, that's the kind of effort that they have here as we go to a Laker substitution. Kareem and Magic Johnson come back in. That really gets the crowd off their feet. Rambis and Wilkes take a seat on the sideline. The Lakers have several players that are fresh now coming down the stretch, and your man, the King, is one of them.
The King is back. That area in the middle is definitely the throne room. He controls. There's Gervin, and the Iceman takes it through the back door of the throne room and scores a pair. 98-92. Big roar as Rambis went to the bench. Why not? 8 points, 15 rebounds for the guy nobody knew existed at the beginning of the season, the rookie from Santa Clara. Green! Abdul-Jabbar. Stan Allback said, where is that offensive foul called, Hugh Evans? And Hugh Evans said, I can't hear you.
Well, that's the call that they got Kareem's 4th foul on. That time, Corzine was not able to get around in that position. They got the ball to Kareem. He took it up and down.
There's Gervin. Pass over to Corzine. Nice play right there. Corzine, good range, came to this club for a couple of second-round draft choices from the Washington Bullets. Great addition. Free agent also at the end of this year. And a foul call right down here against the Spurs. They trail by 6 with 4:29 and plenty of time left. But they must, and I will repeat, they must find a way to get the tempo back in their favor if they're going to make a run here at the Lakers with 4.5 to play. Team fouls, 4 for the Spurs, 3 for LA. Timeouts remaining, the Lakers 4, the Spurs 2. Spurs do not have a 20-second timeout in the second half. That's what you call an air special. Postmaster General loves those. 194. Olberding. Got a nice eye for a big man. 6'9". He can bang it inside and he can put it down outside. We have a timeout. We're at 4:06 and it's a 4-point ball game. Even though the Lakers have looked dominant here in this game, the Spurs are still right in there. All right, we have a time. Lakers 100, Spurs 96. We'll pause now for this word from your local system. This is the USA Cable Network. Eddie Doucette, Steve Jones. We're down to the tail-dragging moments. This is what we call liver and onion time. Well, you've got to have the thick blood to survive here.
Boy, you are sharp tonight. This has been an excellent ball game. The San Antonio Spurs have given us plenty of thrills, and they've shown that they are a gritty, gritty basketball team. They are going to hang it until the final seconds. The Lakers will have to continue to try to run if they possibly can. That is how they control the basketball game. And that is what made them so successful here in the second half of the season. As we take a look at a McAdoo steal as he goes on the break, and they have several players that can push the ball up. Now look at Norm Nixon. He'll get it out. Michael Cooper glides in. That's what you call glide control, Eddie.
He laid that falling leaf right up and in there. We are back with 4:06 to play. The Lakers with 3 timeouts plus a 20-second timeout. It's good as a 4th. The Spurs with 2 timeouts and no 20-second timeout remaining. And San Antonio trails it by 4. Team fouls, LA with 3, San Antonio 4. Next one by San Antonio puts the Lakers into the penalty situation. Rebounds, Rambis with 15, Magic and Mitchell with 9, Corzine off the bench with a big performance again for Stan Albeck. He has 10 points and a whole bunch of rebounds to go along with it. Or I should say 10 rebounds and a whole bunch of points to go along with it. Block shots, Lakers 12-2. That's decided. And remember that the #1 block shot man in the NBA is on the San Antonio team, and that's George Johnson.
Well, George Johnson's not really been able to get into this ball game. They've gotten much more effective play from Dave Corzine here against the Lakers. His bulk and his offensive play have certainly helped them. They'd like to have the defense of George Johnson, but he has not come into play. The Lakers have been able to get out and run, and George Johnson has not been a factor.
196, under 4 to play in the game. To the King, skyhook, and that's George Gervin, the Iceman. Prepped in Detroit, went to Eastern Michigan, went to the ABA. Discovered playing in the Continental League by Johnny Red Kerr. Ended up with the Virginia Squires and then to San Antonio. And that's his chronology. 196. 3:36 to play. Lakers with possession of the ball. And now they can look to start letting the air out of it if they want. Jamal Wilkes.
Well, the Lakers cannot become a conservative basketball team. That style is the one that hurts them, and it's very deceptive. That is what San Antonio would like them to do. They have a 4-on-5 situation. Corzine was caught trying to tie a shoe, but Los Angeles doesn't take advantage.
The Iceman, look at the double team. They'll throw 5 around him if they can. And Magic Johnson with his 10th rebound of the night. McAdoo. How'd you like to have a power forward like that getting out of the break? And they call a violation against the Los Angeles Lakers.
The one thing that we never give Magic Johnson enough credit for is getting the ball to a player when he can do something with it. All Mac had to do was put this ball down. He was in a hurry to get to the hoop, but that was an outstanding lob pass to McAdoo running on the break.
The Lakers have 9 steals in the game. They pick up between the circle and the bullseye. As they come up now with Olberding. He's hit that shot with regularity. Not this time. Mitchell keeps it live. And Jamal Wilkes with a rebound. In the middle on the fly. Norman Nixon. Johnny Moore, who's back in the ball game, tried to clean and press, but he could not come up with it. Bratz has gone to the bench. You've got Mitchell, Gervin, Corzine, Olberding, and Moore. There's Norman Nixon. Uses the screen by the big guy. Shoots off that screen. It doesn't take much in this league. You give a man a half an opportunity to shoot it, and a guy like Nixon will knock it down, and he does. 104-96. Nixon with 20 to go along with the rest of the cast of characters here in Los Angeles. And the Lakers by 8 with 2:31 to play, and the Spurs have called one of their final 2 timeouts. As we take a break, we will keep it right here. During the regular season, Steve Jones, Los Angeles kind of spotty. However, during the end of the season, they made their rush, and they really tuned up for these playoffs, and they're playing great ball now.
Well, I think that the Los Angeles Lakers, as we take a look at the Nixon jumper from the side that caused the timeout for the Spurs, begin to get themselves in tune and find their strength just toward the end of the season. They've come together at the right time to play some of their best basketball. They're a very confident group. They have several weapons that can hurt you. Nixon, Johnson out in front, Cooper coming off the bench, McAdoo coming off the bench up front, along with Kareem and Wilkes, and then they have the outstanding play of Kurt Rambis.
Now let's talk about something here as you look at some of the diagramming that goes on. That is Pat Riley working with his club. How tough was it for him to come into this situation with this club and get them to do the things he wanted to do?
Well, I think the only thing that Pat Riley had to be concerned about was whether the team was going to respect him as a coach, give him some credibility. And he has come in. They won ball games initially, and I think that helped them out a great deal. What he did was take the reins off of them. They're a bunch of thoroughbreds. He let them run, and run. They respected him for that. They now see that he has some good basketball knowledge, and they're working with him.
There it is. Lakers 3-20, Spurs with 1. And that man, Stan Albeck. We've talked about Pat Riley, but how difficult it must have been to take 7 new faces, put them on a team, and get them this far.
Well, I think that, Stan Albeck has been around basketball for a long, long time as a player and an assistant coach, and now as a head coach. He's put a lot of years in basketball theory. He's got a lot of respect, so he knows how to mold the basketball team and turn a losing situation into a winning one.
Right on the clear out.
Nice
They try a one-side drive with a left-hand running hook by Mitchell. He's been red hot. 104-98. The Spurs in this second half, or in the fourth period, are now 8 for 21 from the floor. The Lakers 11 for 21. The defense has tightened up as they lace it up tight. There goes Nixon off a Kareem screen. Look at the switch by Corzine to help out, force him back, tougher distance, and on the miss shot, a rebound by Mitchell of the San Antonio Spurs. Mitchell now with 10 boards. He, along with Magic and Corzine, all have 10.
This is only a 6-point game. Mike Mitchell trying to pop from the outside. They don't get it, and the Lakers don't get the opportunity, so the Spurs will get another chance. There's a minute and 40 seconds to go. This could be the crucial possession for the San Antonio Spurs. If they can come away with the score, they're in a 4-point game.
104-98 to score. 140 and ticking down. Junior Moore. They bring Gervin from the weak side. There he is on top as he pops. You've got Wilkes on him. Interesting matchup there as they put the forward Wilkes, and the Lakers with another steal, number 10. Look at Magic Johnson. They come down with a 2-man advantage. McAdoo. And on the miss, the Spurs will come back with it. Now they can trigger the other end. Moore looking for the Iceman. There he is. And he has not been able to find the range. And on the rebound there, a loose ball foul is called. And Magic Johnson will go down hard.
That time as Johnson goes down hard, Gervin really struggling here in the fourth period of play. Just when it appeared that he was going to get his game going in the third, he took that break and has not been able to refine the touch. That ball is short off the rim. Overdine and Johnson both go up right there. Johnson comes down hard. I think he landed on the elbow, but he appears to be all right as we get one more final look at the Gervin miss and the Johnson rebound follow.
We're getting replayed to death here tonight. I'm getting dizzy looking all that stuff, Jones.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've had some excellent camera work. They've all done an excellent job up there, and from our vantage point, we need all the help we can get.
Well, that's a fact. 1:14 to play here in the game. The former owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Nick Maletti, who now lives out here, is in the audience tonight. Magic Johnson at the line. Not a great free throw shooter. Magic this year, 76%. Average 18.6 points per game. He was third best in scoring on the Lakers. Kareem number 1 at 23-9. Wilkes 21-1, and then comes Magic, and he makes a pair. And now it looks increasingly difficult for the Spurs to come back, and they probably will head home 0-2. Kareem on the miss. And now they will try to find a way to put it under glass. They've got the front door to the Amana open, and they're going to put this one on ice right here on the overlay, but a foul with 47 seconds to play in the ball game. It's the Lakers 106, the Spurs 98, and Magic Johnson has again orchestrated for his Laker teammates something else. Magic Johnson with 9 assists in the game. He had 14 the other night. He had 11 rebounds at this point, and he's got 18 points. He is one shy of the triple-double. a statistic which they created for him. And Michael Cooper, as Stan Albeck looks to the playboard and tries to figure out what he can do now to pull something out of the hat. In and out, Corzine and a timeout. The Spurs' final timeout of the ball game. Well, it has been exciting from the standpoint that the Spurs looked like they were in deep trouble, but they hung in, they chipped away, they went ahead, they led 79-76, and then 79-78, and then that became the turning point for the Los Angeles Lakers. And since that time, they have gone ahead on a run of 6 in a row, and then open it up on an 8-2 run, and now lead 107-98. Steve Jones has made his way to the floor. We are planning on having a post-game guest if time allows. And Jones will have an opportunity to check and chat with one of the stars of the game. And we will again remind you that we will be in San Antonio on Saturday night. That looks to be game 4. And the Spurs hope that they are not looking at a 0-3 deficit at that point. They'll have the third game on Friday night. We will be there Saturday night. In between that time, we will have National Hockey League playoff action. Thursday night, I'll be in Philadelphia for baseball action with the Phils and the Giants, and then Friday down in Dallas for the Colonial Invitational Golf Tournament, and then Saturday night in San Antonio. So I look forward to being with you quite often this week on the USA Cable Network. We will have ourselves a post-game guest at this point, as I mentioned. And it's really hard to say who would be the star of the game at this point, because the Lakers have had a lot of people that have made their contribution. A total team contribution is what it was tonight again, as they checked the rally by the Spurs and came back themselves. And now you look at Mitch Kupchak, who came here for big bucks. That was the free agent they wanted, went down in December with a knee, has not come back. And next to him on his right, our left, Eddie Jordan. The thief of Baghdad, as Kareem calls him, who also broke a bone just below the kneecap and is now working out with the Lakers and should be back should they advance to the next round. There's Jake O'Donnell, and there is George the Iceman Green, the #1 scorer in the NBA this year, 32.3 points per game. 45 seconds to play. Bratz over the Lakers chase the ball. Working on a three-point shot. Rimming is Johnny Moore missing. Corzine. And Corzine will go to the line. Now let's take a look at Dave Corzine as he goes to the line. You talk about a big man. Played for Ray Meyer at DePaul. Broke many of George Mikan's records there. This year he led the Spurs until Mitchell came down there on the boards. Ended up averaging 7.7 rebounds a game. And here he is, playoff average. And he has had 20 points tonight. And the Spurs again falter at the line. They are now 12 for 21. They trail by 9 points in the game, and they have missed 9 free throws here tonight. Difference, Moore to Bratz. Has to alley-oop it up. Moore tries to get it back, and another steal by the Lakers. That's number 11. Nixon. Certainly a candidate for star of the game honors. He has been sensational. Penetrating when he had to. That's Roger Flegley. And Fegley misses on the three-point attempt, and there's Corzine in a foul. Well, in the parlance of the players in the league, we are down to what we call garbage time. Now there's the foul, as you see Corzine challenged by Magic and Kareem, and Kareem gets number 5. Corzine with 13 rebounds to go along with everything else. Stan Albeck has got to think about how he's going to come back now, trailing 0-2 in the series, but he's also got to think about what he has to do to sign this big guy. He's a free agent after this year. He won't want to lose him. Into Kareem against the backcourt pressure. 13 years. He says maybe one more year, but then again, they say he could easily play till 40. He's 35 now. Corzine. Look at Corzine battle the boards. Got 14 rebounds. And it's down to 1, and the Lakers will win this one by 8 and head to San Antonio, leading the series 2 games to none. There's a foul call with 1 second to play. Hugh Evans will bring him to the other end. And one of the Lakers will go to the line, but the final is not exactly final yet. It's still in pencil, and it'll be a moment before we can lay the ink to this score, with the Lakers leading it by 8. Steve Jones again will have a post-game guest. Stan Albeck not happy at all with the officiating tonight. He has been on Hugh Evans from the get-go, and he got a technical foul. Now Evans is pointing at Stan saying, hey, enough. You got one, do you want another? That first technical cost him 100. The next one, you can tack on another 100 plus. Could be a $250 night plus a report to the league. And on the miss, it's all over. Stan Albeck will take a tired San Antonio club to the locker room. They could not control the tempo of the game long enough. They did a neat job here in the second half to get back in it after trailing by 13 early. But they will have to wait until Friday night at home with some of the best fans in the NBA to try and get their first win.